Hello, Mr. Voight. My name is Jacqueline Burkepile. I'm with Church Pop. How are you?
I'm good, Jacqueline. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. I'll just get started since we have a little bit of time. You are a practicing Catholic, so I'd like to know how how choosing this role impacted your faith.
Well, I've been up and down with my faith, but I caught something very strong in the early 80s. Now, that's when I was in my 30s, and maybe a little later than that, actually. But anyway, I'm deeply spiritual. I'm I register everything as to whether it's God-filled or not, whether it's what I should be doing or not. I'm always very attentive to every behavior I have, and I'm always scared that might offend God. You see what I mean? They say fear of the Lord. That's what I got. So you look at me and say, "These are guys afraid of the Lord." I'll tell you that. but it's, but it's not an unpleasant. That fear is just respect. Feel so badly if I'm not being properly respectful to the truth and to good and all of that. But I know that I'll be forgiven because I'm making a tremendous effort.
Yeah, of
There's a guy
course.
God looks down at me and says, "That's a guy who's trying." I'm telling you, that guy. Anyway, so this was a piece of work that I thought had good ingredients, moral ingredients as well, and uh, and a good reminder of what the presidency demands and what some people are capable of with the presidency, and uh, and 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 what this country, what the founding fathers intended for that that person who's the head of this country, and a reminder of all of that was Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was very good at referring to the initial instincts of the founding fathers and appreciated them and brought our country back to that center, instead of being adrift as it was when he took office.
There are definitely a lot of parallels happening now that were happening then that seem to be going on in this country that were happening 40 years ago. So, how
Mhm.
do you think our country and Christians in particular can learn from this film of how to speak up for our faith and our liberties, which are so important to be able to
You bet.
practice the faith?
You bet. Well, the situation we're in is partially because of the KGB. The KGB who followed, Reagan. Uh, in this film, I represent the KGB officer who was in charge of reporting on this man Reagan as he went from one position in the acting union, and then he became governor, and then he finally ran for president. But anyway, he was responsible for seeing this guy, and Reagan presented him the answers to the questions that he needed answered, and exposed the Soviet Union to him in such a way that he became a fan of Reagan's and appreciated when the Soviet Union was brought down and the people of Russia were released from this bondage to this totalitarian system, But
How can
but also
Christians
what I was going to say was that the the KGB and this guy who's my Petrovich, who I played, he knew what was going on, and the KGB was attacking America to bring them down, and they had like 42 or something pieces of a menu that they intended to follow through on, and that was put into our system. We recorded that, all those 42, in 1963. We knew what it was, but we paid no attention to it. All the ways that they were going to, insert different kinds of things into our children's minds. What they did by controlling the universities, by taking God out of the schools, by seeking to control our media. All of that was in those 42 menu. We knew what they were doing, and they seemed to have accomplished it. Amazing. So even though the Soviet Union was disbanded, what we were left with was those seeds had taken root, and we've watched that happen. And now we're in that spot where we see anti-Semitism in the universities. We see a support for socialism, which is a madness, which is a prelude to communism, which is a poison governmentally, which destroys countries. And every country it's been who fosters this governorship brings their people into disarray and deep sadness. So anyway, we're facing that now. That's been successfully implanted in way back, and now we have to face that, and we have to do something about it. We have to get right back to the founding principles of our nation, and we have to recognize God, and restore us to our proper place. So we have a good portrait of a guy who did it, who actually took that challenge on and did it for his time. And now there's stuff to clean up more than ever.
Thank you so much.
That's what I think. You see that? What kind of a guy you got here?
Well, thank you. That was a great answer. Well, I'm out of time. They have to move on to the next person. So,
of course they do. We can't be talking like this forever.
Yeah, I wish we could.
Very good to talk to you, darling. Very good to talk.
Thank you so much. You too.